Hi, this is David Gemme coming to you from our beautiful Gemme Group studios at Sotheby's International Realty in beautiful Lake Tahoe. We are excited today. Anyone who knows me knows that my absolute favorite sport is mountain biking. And so today I'm going to give you Dave's picks of mountain bike trails, and I'm going to tell you why they're my favorites. And if you definitely want to, comment and ask me questions, go for it. But I'm going to point you to a link first. The number one link I use to navigate trails throughout the United States, including Mexico, because I did this in Mexico too, is this app called Trailforks. And it's one of the best apps that you can use to find trails, okay? So we're gonna start with that, and then I'm gonna kind of just tell you probably about my 5 favorites. Really, I have about 20 consecutive loops that I do throughout the Tahoe region. And if you wanna see those loops, you're welcome to go to Strava, and you can follow me on Strava too, okay? I try to do anywhere from 15 to 30 miles every time I ride, and I have not succumbed to an e-bike yet. So if you're riding an e-bike, no judgment on you. Everyone who has them loves them. I, however, have a series of 2 or 3 different bikes that I use for the different terrains that we're riding on. And if you want a specific to bike video that follows these trails, I can definitely point you in that direction too. So just ask us down below and I'll tell you the best bikes for Lake Tahoe. Okay, so let's start. I live in Tahoe City. One of the beauties of living in Tahoe City is all of the trail systems start from Tahoe City and they go to Truckee, Incline Village, down south towards Homewood. And depending upon what your mood is, there are all sorts of different levels of trails. For me personally, I like a good 20-mile ride with 2,500 feet of climbing. That feels like I accomplished something that day. If you're not quite to that level, there's many, many loops that you can do up here that are between, call it 7 to 12 miles, that will still have quite a bit of vertical on them, but at the same time, they are more forgiving and they're just flow trails, etc. Okay, so first off, let's talk about different kinds of trails. You have flow and tech basically up here in Tahoe, and cross country. Flow, tech, and cross country. Okay, flow is like where the trail builders actually build these big berms and they have nice little hits on them and gap jumps, and that is one of the funnest things. It's like mini Whistler riding if you've ever been to Whistler. Tech is technical trails where you hit these big rocky sections as you go downhill, and with rocks, generally the rule is speed. Have your speed and hit the rocks hard, have good suspension in your bike. If you're riding bikes up here, I recommend having at least 140 millimeters of front suspension. And all of my bikes have at least 150 in the front and at least 140 in the back. Even my cross-country bike is 140 and 140, okay? And what that means is like it's 140 millimeters of travel, so the suspension can really react. The wider the shocks get, the more that the oil in the shocks can move through the shock. So, if you're riding really aggressively, you usually want bigger shocks, okay? But any of the bikes that are made today are way better than what we grew up on riding, okay? So let's just start talking about our favorite trails. If you live in Truckee, the most iconic trail in Truckee is basically the Donkey Town loop that is right off of Interstate 89, right by the Mouse Hole. And you'll see tons of bikers parked there, and it's one of the most iconic trails up in Tahoe at this point in time. The trail builders did a fantastic job on this trail, and there's multiple different trail sections that you can actually ride. One of my favorite is to ride the Jellystone loop that connects to Hong Kong Phooey and then connects to Donkey Town. And those 3 loops together, they're about 10 miles. It's about 1,700, 1,800 feet of climbing, and it's a road ride up, so it's fairly easy on your body, but then the downhill is just spectacular. Great jumps, log rides, all sorts of fun stuff that way. Okay, number 2, as we move towards Tahoe from that location, is the Western States Trail. And this is the iconic grind of Western States, okay? When you park at the Western States Trailhead, which is right where the bridge crosses the river, you'll basically ride under the bridge, you'll ride up the trail. That is one of the hardest 2.5 miles you will ever do up to the top of what they call the Walternate, okay? But that trail to come down is just fabulous, and it's a fantastic workout if you're looking for masochism and you want to just punish yourself. It's a wonderful trail to ride up, and then you can ride up to Painted Rock, and when you go up to Painted Rock, you can go several different directions into the National Forest and into Burton Creek State Park. Okay, so that brings me to Burton Creek State Park. This is one of my favorite places to ride myself personally because you can do longer rides with less elevation and you can really just kind of burn fat and burn calories and get a lot of mileage in at the same time while climbing that same, 2,000 to 3,000 feet. And I have several loops. This is a Strava thing. Just look at the different loops on Strava. And if you want to ask me questions about that, put them in the comments down below and I'll answer them for you. Okay. If we go south, and this was in our other video of our hiking trails, our favorite hiking trails, there's a trail called Stanford Rock. And Stanford Rock is, it's a grind up. It's not as bad as it used to be. And, thank you to Tamba. Tamba came in and basically created a flow trail off of the top of Stanford Rock now. And basically, it's about a 12-mile round trip if you leave from, my house in Tahoe City up to the top and back. But Stanford Rock has one of those views that you'll just want to sit up there. And they actually put a bench at the top too. You'll just want to sit up there for a sec and just take it all in because you see all of Lake Tahoe. You look down into most of the, valley basins around there. And then if you think about, what you really want in a bike ride, the ride down is just fun. It's just this nice flowy trail with some tech, some berm turns, and you can pick up speed on the straightaways and then brake really hard, but then you end up right at Sunnyside at the bottom of it. So nothing like stopping in for a rum punch at Sunnyside at the end of a ride or a nice cold beer and having a good, bite to eat. So anyway, that's Stanford Rock. Then we're gonna go north to Incline, and Incline Village has some of my absolute favorite rides, probably my favorite ride in Tahoe that I've been riding over the past 10 to 15 years is the Tyrolean downhill. And Cam Zink actually lives down in Reno. And for those of you who don't know, Cam Zink is a pretty big motocross and mountain biker. He actually partnered with the Forest Service over there on the East Shore, and they built this big tabletop jump flow trail at the top of Tyrolean. And I mean, it is sick. It is absolutely fun. So that's definitely a downhill trail. You want your downhill bike. And, people shuttle it too. People will basically park a car at the bottom and they'll just ride the downhill over and over and over again. If you go with a group of 3, 2 of you can ride together and one person shuttles. And so what we generally do, just to kind of keep our waistlines in shape, is we ride up the trail and we ride up Old Mount Rose Highway. And then we cross the highway and then ride to the top of the Tyrolean downhill. We ride it once and then we'll basically shuttle it once. So you get 2 downhills for the price of 1 uphill. But let me just tell you, that uphill is a ball buster. And you ride about an 8% grade for about 2 miles straight. And so you just have to get into the pedaling motion and just get into the mindset of, you're just gonna go there and you're gonna sweat hard and you get into your breathing, and it's fantastic though. You won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed with any of those rides I just told you about. And if you have questions, definitely put them down below. Please like and subscribe our channel. And we welcome you to Tahoe anytime you wanna come. And if you wanna ever go ride, just ping me. My number's listed down below. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.